So let's start going through our question number 1. Consider the argon diagram with the Z plot below. All right, so which of the following could be the complex number Z? This should be a relatively easy question. So, well, let me get my pen. There we go. All right, so we know that when we are considering an argon diagram, right, there is 4 quadrants that we have, and each of them will have a slightly different theta on how we're defining it. So the first thing is we have our positive theta, right, in our first quadrant, and then we have the pi minus theta in our second quadrant, our negative pi minus theta in the third quadrant, and negative theta in the last quadrant. Now, say that the angle is 2 pi on 3, right? Say that the small angle, like between 0 and 90 degrees, well, in this case, it would be 180 because 2 pi on 3 is 120 degrees. But first of all, let's convert this, right? 2 pi on 3 is 120 degrees, right? So this means that our option A is in our second quadrant, right? Pi minus pi on 3, giving me 2 pi on 3, and pi on 3 would be my acute angle in quadrant 1. So clearly 2 pi on 3 is in the second quadrant, and we cannot consider that. Now, moving on to the next solution, we have cos negative 2 pi on 3 plus I sine negative 2 pi on 3. This is positive. This is possible. Our option B is possible. Why? Because it is in the third quadrant. So we will have cis in the form of cis theta. What we have is negative and then pi minus pi on 3. If pi on 3 was the acute angle, then this is possible. What we have is just cos negative 2 pi on 3 plus I sine negative 2 pi on 3, right? B is possible, so let's keep it here and look at C and D. Now, option C seems like they simplified your trigonometric identities, so they pull out negative from your B. But remember that cos negative theta is equal to cos theta from your trigonometric identity, so hence we do not have the negative in front of your cos, right? That means we can exclude the C now. Now, our option D is cos negative 2 pi on 3 minus I sine negative 2 pi on 3. When you just look at it, it seems almost the same thing as your option B, but if you remember clearly, your cis theta is cos your theta plus your I sine theta, right? So our option D will be ignored right now. So our only possible answer will be option B.